What's up, everybody? Let's talk about attitude. And we'll talk about attitude in regards to many different things. Now, I get told by my driver manager, shippers, consignees, whatever, that I have a good attitude. I don't know if I necessarily want to think of it that way, but I do know that I'm very professional. And I see with a lot of drivers at shippers and consignees or whatever, they are not very professional. There was a guy a few weeks ago loading shingles. He arrived there before I did, and as soon as he pulled into his spot, they got right to loading him. I had to wait a little while to get mine loaded. I got mine loaded, I got it secured, and I had to pull out in the cul-de-sac, turn around, come back, park by the building, go inside, and he was in there pitching one hell of a fit. They got to him right away, and he thought they took too long loading him. Well, he was throwing a fit like that because he wanted to go home. And he lived in Florida, and the load delivers by his house, and he wanted to spend a couple days at home. Well, he's on e-logs. And, well, guess what? He didn't think he was going to be able to make it home. And he may not have been able to. But you can't be taking that out on the shipper, because I seen firsthand the shipper got right to him. And when you throw a fit to the shipper like that, that makes the rest of us look bad. It puts the shipper in a bad mood for the rest of us. So even though we didn't come in with a bad attitude because you went there and shot your mouth off to them, we're all looked at poorly. Same thing, you go into a restaurant. You bitch, whine, and moan with the waitress because she should be able to read your mind. Makes the rest of us look bad, puts a bad taste in her mouth for the rest of us. The other week, another flatbed company, one of their drivers went into a Love's. Got $7 worth of stuff, juice, sandwich, what have you. When she was rigging that up, the only thing that he handed her, the only thing in his hand, was his rewards card. He handed her the rewards card, she ran it, and she used his points. He threw a fit. And I'm not talking little fit, I'm not talking, oh, hey, can you change this, can you fix this? No, this was a, full-blown hissy fit. Went on for a half an hour, and he finally got pissed off, spoke to the manager, and the manager said same thing that the cashier said. We can put the points back on the card, and he threw one fit. One hell of a fit. Then he proceeded to go into his truck, which is on the fuel island, and spend about 20 minutes there on the phone with the Love's headquarters trying to get people fired. Attitude makes a difference. If you're talking to your driver manager, things aren't always going to go your way. There are times of the year that freight's going to slow down. Here the past couple of weeks, freight's been slow. It's wintertime. Now it's starting to get towards spring, freight's picking up. But if you're in a bad area or it's a bad time of year, you got to be patient. You can bitch as much as you want to your driver manager and the load planners, but if you do that constantly, it's going to put a bad taste in their mouth. This is a world of you scratch my back, I scratch yours. If you show you can be patient, they're going to make it worth your while. It may not be this week, may not be next week, but they will get you back. Attitude makes a difference. Makes a difference in the eyes of other drivers, makes a difference in the eye of your company, makes a difference in the eye of the shipper and consignee. Now, that being said, you got to have a professional attitude. You got to be professional. And this is the part that pisses me off, and the part that's going to probably irritate people watching this. Even though you're thousands of miles away from your family, friends, whatever, the least you can do is try to be respectful and dress respectful. You know, I'm tired of smelling these guys from a mile away. They get out of their trucks, smell like they ain't showered in a month. You know, they got their sweatpants on, they got their gallon and a half of soda, got their like you say, sweatpants, they got their flip-flops, nasty ass feet. And then they go into the truck stops and proceed to either use foul language in front of cashiers or whatever, or, you know, just get after people or bitch, whine, and moan about everything. And they think that guys like me have to respect them because they've driven for 10 years. And it's the same as any industry, just because you've done something for a long time doesn't mean you're good at it. But we'll get into that in a second. And when you go into that truck stop, especially the major ones, you know, your Loves, your TA, Petro, Flying J, Pilot, those aren't just for truckers. You got the general public in there getting fuel, eating, getting stuff as they're going on their way. And what do you think's going through their mind when they see a bunch of truck drivers in there smelling like they ain't showered in a month, wearing sweatpants and flip-flops? It's not a very good image to put across the general public. Just the same, if you're a flatbedder and you go to a shipper or consignee and you're wearing sweatpants and flip-flops, what's that say about them? What's that going to put in their mind as far as the company you're working for allowing a driver to go to a place like that, dressed like that? You know, there's a time and place for everything. I don't own flip-flops. I don't own any sort of sandal. I have one pair of sweatpants, and the only time I wear those is when I'm sleeping in the wintertime. I do not get out of my truck in sweatpants. I rarely wear shorts. The only time I wear shorts, they're black canvas shorts. Got the cargo pockets, whatever. And I only wear those while I'm driving in the summertime. Never do a shipper or consignee. Same shirts I wear the shippers and consignees, even though I'm a flatbedder. They're tasteful. You usually have the company's logo on them. And they're clean. I make sure that I'm kept up. Same with my long hair. I'm driving, I let it down. I got no problem with that. Brush it up, throw my beanie on, whatever. When I go to the shipper consignee, it's tied back real nice. I got my hat on with the forward-facing bill. Use respectful language, don't curse. Attitude. It's about attitude and putting on a professional appearance. You know, you hear guys bitch about how nobody respects the trucking industry, or other truck drivers. I got two things to say. First of all, you got to give them an image to respect. If you go around wearing your sweatpants, flip-flops, not showering, drinking a gallon and a half of soda every day, it's pretty hard to respect somebody like that. Because you're not helping the image of the lazy truck driver. Just same, if you're going, talking on your cell phone, got it glued to your ear, texting on your phone. I've seen guys with laptops up on their dash, watching videos driving down the road. And if you're going to swerve and cut off a line of cars just so you can pass a truck going a half a mile slower than you, you're an idiot. That pisses me off, and I'm a driver. I can't imagine what the four-wheelers are thinking. They're probably cussing up a storm, even though they probably got cell phones up their ears too. Use your mirrors. Wait till you got a good spot to get out. You know, when you're on the radio, you hear guys bitching, talking shit all the time on the radio. Well, you're gonna talk stuff, talk shit on the radio. Watch your language. There's a time and place to use curse words. Now, if I'm talking face to face with other truck drivers, I make sure of what's around me, and then decide whether or not I'm going to use curse words. But that's over the radio waves. Those are public radio waves. And you don't need to be spitting your racial, religious, political, shit-talking bullshit on the radio. You know, I'm a firm believer everybody should have one. Everybody should have it on all the time. But whatever. But now we're going to get to where we're going to piss people off. Those that are veterans and support the Brotherhood, they're not going to be offended by this. And I hope they give me some input. Those that I'm talking against are going to get pissed off and leave all sorts of bad comments, which is fine. But I don't care how long you've been driving. You know, you can drive for 10 years and sit on your high horse, but it doesn't mean that I have to respect you. And the reason I say that is if you drive like an asshole, if you're cutting people off, weaving in and out of traffic, if you're going to barely pass me, cut me off, slam on your brakes just so you can hit your damn exit, if you're going to drive 45 miles an hour through the frickin' parking lot, if you're going to nose into a spot and take up 3 parking spaces, pull your brakes and close your curtain, if you're going to park on the fuel island to go inside and have a sit-down meal or take a shower, if you're going to make a spot at a truck stop that blocks somebody in, and when they ask you politely to move, you tell them to go fuck themselves, I got no respect for you. If all you want to sit there and do is bitch, 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 I got no respect for you. With company-sponsored training and the government giving money to these guys that don't want to work, saying trucking's an easy career, we're going to have issues. We're going to have lazy pieces of garbage out here on the road that don't care. We're going to have guys that stick their headphones in their ears and never turn the radio on. Never look in their mirrors. We're always going to have guys back into trucks and try to take off. But to the guys that bitch about how the Brotherhood is gone, let's put it this way. When the old timers came up, they had the other old timers helping them out. Helping them out on the radio, helping them out as shippers and consignees, helping them out in the parking lot. When those old timers retired, these guys realized, oh, there's nobody helping anymore. The industry's going to shit. Well, that's part of the problem. But the other part of the problem is that instead of carrying on their tradition, instead of carrying on the helpfulness, you see all these guys that would rather just sit there and bitch, whine, and moan and talk garbage about every other driver. We all started somewhere. The days of being able to go out on the farm, jump in a truck and go get your CDL and go get a job, they're dwindling. Most of these companies that hire rookies so you can get your experience require that you go to some kind of a school. A lot of them won't take you if you just went out and pulled hopper bottom, unless you got a good amount of experience doing that. And so it is what it is. Now, I've seen guys that did that, guys that went out and pulled the hopper bottom, did whatever, pulled local, and they get out on the road and you realize they don't know how to fill out a logbook. They don't understand DOT regulations and standards. They give violations. I mean, it is what it is. But I'll tell you what I do. When I see someone struggling to back in, I don't care if it takes them 30 pull-ups to get back into that spot. I don't care if it takes them 2 hours to get back into that spot. So I'd rather have them take their time and do it correctly than take off my bumper. But with that being said, I'm not on the radio talking shit to this guy or gal. I'm not out there making fun of them. If they're struggling to back up, I'll get out and I'll help them. It doesn't take much to be a decent human being. If I'm at a shipper and I see a prime flatbedder or a swift flatbedder and you can tell they don't have experience hauling what they're picking up. Instead of sitting there and talking shit like I hear guys do on the radio all the time, or hearing guys yell across the floor, you know, hurry your ass up, I go over there and give them a hand. Welcome to the brotherhood. Instead of bitching, whining, moaning about every little fucking thing, it makes a little more sense for you to go out and help that person. By all means, do not do the work for them, but give them pointers and give them a hand. They will appreciate it more than you could ever know. If you can teach them the proper way to do it, or you can help them out, that's going to go a long way for them. Not only is it going to make their day go quicker, it's going to make your day go quicker, and you're going to have one less moron on the road. Instead of using your radio to talk shit to everybody, you might be able to give them advice. You know, don't start with criticism and raising hell about them. Give them advice. If you give them advice first and show that you're wanting to help them, then you can go forward with the criticism. Help. You see someone struggling, you see someone that needs help, give them a hand. Don't sit there and talk shit about them. You know, you guys that bitch about the brotherhood being gone, well, why is it gone? It's because nobody wants to help anybody anymore. And I've noticed that all the guys that are sitting there, most of the guys that are sitting there bitching on the radio about how nobody wants to help anybody anymore, aren't getting off their asses to help anybody. I'm a rookie and I'm helping people. And what's to say about you guys that have been driving for 10 years? Now, like I said, this does not go for everybody, because I stop at a lot of mom and pop places, and there's a lot of old timers in there that you can sit and have a wonderful conversation with. They'll give you all kinds of tips and tricks. They're not self-righteous. They know they've been doing it for a long time. They know they're good at what they do, but they're not going to gloat about it. They're not going to gloat about all the time they spent behind the wheel. They want to help you succeed, and they want to help the industry succeed. And that's the way it should be in any walk of life, in any industry. Help. Help your brother, help your sister. That is the only way that anything's ever going to change. That's the only way that anything's going to get any better. And my company, there's guys that have had 1 million safe miles. There's some guys that you can sit and talk to, and they'll give you all kinds of tips and tricks and pointers, and they will help you out. And there's a few million milers that I've had the displeasure of meeting that won't lift a finger to help anybody. They'll bitch about everybody. They'll bitch and whine and moan until you come over and throw their tarp for them. You get on top of their load, you'll throw their tarp, you'll get everything done down, and then what do you think? Think they'll reciprocate the offer, they'll help you out, they'll talk with you, give you some information? No. They'll jump in their truck and they'll leave. They get paid $40 for tarping, and all they did was sit in their truck. I see guys out there, trainers like that. They use their trainee for a free logbook. Hearing a story from a gentleman, trainer in ice, in an ice storm, sat in his truck playing on his phone in a nice warm cab, while his trainee, who just got on the truck, was out there on that icy deck trying to secure this load and get it tarped. Now, I'm not against making the trainee do the work, but the trainer needs to be out there to make sure that trainee is safe and make sure he is doing his job properly. You can practice the same thing 1 million times, but practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. If you continually practice it the wrong way, you're always going to do it the wrong way. So, main point, help your brother. Help your sister. If you see someone struggling to back in, give them a hand. If you make a spot at the truck stop, that's fine. We all understand hours of service. But if you block somebody in and they ask you to move, the least you could do is get the fuck out of the way. Pull up, back up, do what you got to do. That way that person can get out and start their day. They all got things they got to do. I've got things I've got to do. If I make a spot and I'm in somebody's way and they knock on my door and say, hey man, can you move? I'll get out of my truck and I'll say, yeah man, which way do I got to go? No problem whatsoever. You know, I don't care if, if I only get 2 hours of sleep that night, it's fine. Because I know I did not park in a designated parking spot. Now, I don't do that very often. But sometimes you have to. You know, when I'm getting ready to go past somebody, I'm governed 65 miles an hour. There are companies that do not show the courtesy to back it down a little bit. You know, say if somebody is governed 65 and a half, they're trying to go around me, there's no line of cars behind them, I'll let them gradually get up there. But if there's cars that start to get behind them or faster trucks, I will back it down to about 60 miles an hour and let them get past me. Courtesy, keeping the flow of traffic moving. Just the same, I don't expect anybody to do that, but it'd be nice if they did. So if I'm going to pass somebody that's a little bit slower than me, I make sure I got a good opening to do it, so I'm not going to hold anybody up. You know, there's always this me attitude out there. Everybody wants to bitch about everybody else, and they only give a shit about themselves. You know, they want to bitch about everybody parking at the fuel island. What do you see them do? You see them standing in line to get food while parked on the fuel island. You see guys with plenty of parking spots that don't want to back in. They'll make a spot. Whether that's because they're lazy or because they've had so many people chew their ass while they're trying to back up that they say screw it, I don't know. But the self-righteous attitude's got to stop. If you want to change the brotherhood, if you want to bring it back, if you want to help the industry out as a whole, help the image of the industry out, be professional. Be professional with your company, shippers, consignees, and other drivers. And with the general public for sure. Be courteous to your waitresses and your cashiers. Be polite. Be understanding. And show a little bit of courtesy. Help your fellow driver. If they're struggling to back in, instead of getting on the radio and raising hell and bitching about them, making fun of them, give them a hand. Help them back in. Give them a few tips and tricks. A lot of these truck driving schools teach them how to pass the test. They don't teach them how to handle the rig. Company-sponsored training is even worse. You've been out there on the road, you've got experience backing in, you've got experience loading these loads, you've got experience at these places. Pass that information along. If you want to see this industry change for the better, you're going to have to be part of the solution. If all you're going to do is bitch, whine, and moan about it, you're part of the problem. You know, I'm a rookie and I'm out here helping everybody out that I can. You see these guys wearing their sweatpants and flip-flops that have driven for 10 years that don't want to help anybody. They just want to sit and bitch. You know, it is what it is. You know, I got long hair. I got piercings. I got tattoos. I listen to death metal. And I'm out here helping people. But hearing it from some drivers, I'm not worth a shit because I'm not like them. You know, and I'm proud to say that I'm not. I don't wear sweatpants, I don't wear flip-flops, I don't cut people off. I help people back in, I help people as shippers and consignees, I give you tips and tricks on tarping, securement. Help. Be courteous, give a hand. Even if it doesn't benefit you. I helped a CRST driver a few weeks ago pull his tarps and fold them up. It wasn't going to benefit me. It wasn't going to help me get loaded any quicker. Or unloaded quicker. But I had time to kill. I'm going to go out there and give him a hand. I'm not going to sit in my truck and be lazy. Yeah, I know what it's like folding those tarps. I know what it's like pulling them. Especially in the wind. You know, just the other day, I helped a guy roll his tarps out. I didn't need to, he didn't ask me to, but you know what? I had a little bit of time to kill. And you know what preceded that? Or you know what came after that? A good conversation. Good conversation filled with information from a driver that's been out here longer than I have. I'm out here to learn. I'm here to be the best that I can be. You know, and I guess, you know, for you guys that are bitching about the industry, you got to help people. When you came up, you had people helping you. Reciprocate that now. Be a part of the solution. Show these drivers what a real trucker is. And then you can take back your industry. Anyway, guys, for those of you that I pissed off, that's for you. For those of you that like what I said, there's a like button. And for those of you that want to talk shit in the comments, remember, this is the internet. I don't think you can use your voice on the comment thing yet. So, remember, caps lock. We'll chat to you guys later.